Hello, everybody. College Game Day, the honorary episode 10. Tua versus Burrow, and number 2 versus number 3, Alabama, LSU, SEC powerhouse matchup. Here to help me discuss that, all the other great games this week, Mr. Will Stewart, my co-host. We got 2 other guests you can see. First of all, Mr. Ian Richards.
Hello, guys.
I appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, yes, sir.
And Mr. Alex Toronto
Hello.
Rocks.
Blessed to be on the show, Mr. Chris.
Yep, yeah, sure. And then Stu, of course. Appreciate you guys coming on. All right, Minnesota, Penn State. Stu, we're going to start with you in this matchup. I mean, what do you like about it?
I like defensive battle. Both defenses are very good. Minnesota, many people thought they would win their division, and Penn State's in their division.
All right.
So, are they?
No.
They aren't?
No.
Oh, they aren't, but, I mean, Minnesota's 8-0, right?
Yeah, Minnesota.
They're very
This
good,
is the 8-0 matchup between Big Ten teams. Just for you guys to know that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a defensive battle.
Okay. Defensive. APR.
I actually think it's going to be more of an offensive battle. 2 great quarterbacks. I think they both have pretty good running game.
All right.
Yeah.
I love what Penn State did against Michigan in the first half, but I did see some streakiness during the second half, which I didn't like. But Minnesota and Penn State, they're going to go at it. I do have a defensive battle. I think it'll be a close game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you guys. I love what Penn State and KJ Hamler. He's their best player without a doubt. What he's been able to do this season has been absolutely ridiculous. So I mean,
Sean Clifford has gotten
exactly.
so good.
And if they can't contain those guys, Minnesota doesn't have a chance in this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Not.
Kansas State, number 23 in the college football playoff rankings, I believe. Unranked Texas, but they're at Texas. Let's start with Ian this time. Ian.
Okay. I think it'll be a close game, around 14 points. I think that it'll be an offensive battle.
All right.
With Sam Ehlinger leading the way. He will definitely have a good game, I think.
All right. Will.
I think it'll be an offensive battle, too. Both
All right.
great quarterbacks, Ellinger and Skylar Mays. Texas has been pretty disappointing this year, so I think if they can get this one, then
but they have played. I mean, their losses were too. TCU is disappointing, obviously, but
Yeah.
to lose to Oklahoma and LSU,
It's not
those
that
aren't bad
bad,
losses.
but-
APR.
I think that it'll be a more of an offensive game, and I think that Texas, in order to win, has to shut down Skylar Thompson for sure.
Yeah.
I just dropped him in my fantasy league, by the way.
I mean, he's been performing on a really good level, but
Yeah, he's really quick. He can throw the ball.
he can
you
also
saw
run
from
too.
Oklahoma
Yeah, he's
game.
real dual threat quarterback.
Definitely a threat.
Yeah, I think two dual threat quarterbacks going at it. Thompson had 3 rushing touchdowns in the last game for Kansas State. So
Actually, last 2 games he had 3.
wow. So
Yeah.
he's responsible for I think 80% of Kansas State's scoring on the offensive side of the ball. So if Texas, their defense, it's not great. It's not great. But if Texas can't shut him down, they're gonna have a problem today. I also think Colin Johnson.
Yeah.
Where has he been all season? I mean,
Interesting.
anybody?
I know.
He's 6'6", and Ehlinger hasn't gotten the ball to him.
Athlete.
Exactly, and Ehlinger hasn't gotten the ball pretty much since LSU.
Yeah.
Since September 9th. That game
Awesome.
was. So they got to get him the ball more. But honestly, I think that's all I have. I think 40 plus points for both teams. It's gonna be offensive.
Yeah, definitely.
Virginia Tech, Wake Forest. Wake Forest is in the 20s in the college football playoff rankings. APR. You haven't yet, so.
Wake Forest, they're led by Jamie Newman and Say Surratt. I think Say Surratt is easily one of the better wide receivers in college football.
Definitely.
And Virginia Tech has to shut him down along with Scotty Washington, too. That's going to be tough.
Yeah,
So I think it'll be more of a offensive game for Wake Forest and Virginia Tech. It's a focus more on defense.
Yeah.
Try to limit the Wake Forest score.
Yeah, obviously this is Bud Foster's last season, 26th season with Virginia Tech as defensive coordinator. He's already been one of the best in the country. And Ian, we'll get to you in a second, but first, Notre Dame beat beat Virginia Tech by 1 point last week.
Yep.
Ian, what do you think Virginia Tech has to do to be able to come back from that loss?
I think they're happy with their performance last week. Definitely a 1 point loss to a powerhouse, or should be a powerhouse. Hasn't been a great team this year. And Wake Forest, just I think a very complete team for what they've been.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a close one.
Yeah, 7-1, their best start in history.
Wake Forest defense can be somewhat shaky sometimes, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Sage Surratt, he's right up there in my receiver list with Tylan Wallace, all those great guys. Michael Pittman of USC's been phenomenal. Like he's
Michael
up there
Pittman
with those
and
guys.
Sage Surratt on the fantasy team.
You must be balling this year.
No, not really.
I mean, okay, Will. Will, how about you?
I see a defensive battle actually.
Oh, really?
Virginia Tech only gave up 21 to Ian Book, who's a very, very strong quarterback, and Wake Forest absolutely blew out NC State last week.
Yeah.
It's like 44-10.
Yeah.
I think Virginia Tech can hold Wake Forest to like 14 to 17 points.
Okay. So defensive battle.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. Okay. Ryan Willis, Virginia Tech's quarterback, he's just been shaky the entire year, and I think if they want to win this game, he's got to be able to perform. Also, like Damon Hazelton he's the senior receiver for Virginia Tech. He's been nowhere. Like they haven't seen him at all this season. So both of those guys need to perform if Virginia Tech wants to get the win. All right, West matchup. Iowa at Wisconsin. Doesn't really matter in the leader standpoint because Minnesota's over there leading the West at 8-0. But
it could matter if Wisconsin loses, and
okay, they both have 2 losses, right? Yeah. They both have 2 losses, so they're both 2 games behind Minnesota.
So what would be ideal is that Minnesota loses and Wisconsin wins and gives them a chance to
because then they're 1 game behind.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. We already know Penn State's favored in that Minnesota game. Ian, what do you see in Wisconsin, Iowa?
I see Wisconsin coming in with a chip on their shoulder, back-to-back losses, horrible game against Illinois, and there's nothing really much you can do against those Buckeyes.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Definitely the best team in the nation.
Oh yeah, with that.
And I don't think Iowa is that great. Like I don't see how they're very great. So I think it'll be a good game though.
Obviously, this is 16 versus 18. I think in the playoff rankings. APR, what do you say?
All right. Well, I see that Wisconsin's O-line has to control Iowa's defensive line to get Jonathan Taylor the holes and gaps he needs. I think if Taylor gets going, then the game's gonna be over.
Okay. Yeah. I mean.
But Iowa defense is very talented.
Yeah, I see their senior linebacker, Christian Wells, is one of the best in the country. He never misses tackles. So if I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor versus him, that's going to be the matchup to look for all game.
Yeah.
Will?
I think it's going to be an offensive showdown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do, actually.
But is it going to be Taylor or Jack Cohn?
I think it's going to be Taylor.
Okay.
He's the best running back.
Jack Cohn can't throw a football.
Yeah. But if Taylor can get going, then they will get a huge win.
Okay. I mean, you guys are throwing shade on Iowa so far in this one, but I honestly think Nate Stanley is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in football. He just doesn't have any receivers. After losing Noah Fant, he lost T.J. Hawkins in the draft. So he has best receivers by far. He doesn't really have, besides like a junior tight end and Drew Cooper, he doesn't have any other tight ends to throw to. So, I mean, if he can't find other people, I don't see Iowa pull this one out. Definitely. All right, game of the week. Alabama LSU.
What a matchup.
Oh, yeah. This is best regular season game we might see all year.
Yeah.
APR?
Well, all right. I kind of see this as an offensive battle, actually. Both quarterbacks on the Heisman watch. Yeah. Probably both top 3.
Would be healthy, though.
Yeah.
That's the question coming in, exactly.
All right. I think that if Tua's not healthy, the LSU defense is just too much. If Tua is healthy, it's going to be a great battle, 2 great defenses, 2 great offenses. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I disagree with the defensive part because I don't see the defense being a factor in this game. It's just Burrow, and if Tua is healthy,
LSU's receiver core is nasty.
Justin it's Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
I'll say it's
versus Jerry Jeudy and Devontae Smith. They're number 1 and number 2 in receivers. Obviously, I mean Joe Burrow is. I think if Tua is not healthy, this game's not over. Because if the Alabama defense can contain Joe Burrow, I mean, Mac Jones, he's playing Arkansas. So, he had a good performance. He's playing Arkansas. LSU's a big step up from Arkansas. So, I don't know. But if we do see him in this game, Nick Saban, he posted an update yesterday. He said Tua's ankle was healing up nicely. So, we'll probably see him in this game.
Yeah.
If we do, offensive shootout all the way.
The worst that can happen is they bring him back too soon and they can't have him later.
In the season, especially when the playoff rolls around.
Yeah.
You can't force him into this game.
Do you think that if Bama loses this game, they still have a chance at the playoff?
It matters how close the game is. Yeah. Because if it's a 20-point game,
if they don't have Tua, they lose and then they win the conference championship. It's maybe.
Yeah, but how would they lose the conference championship? Because LSU would go to the.
Oh, you're right. No, but if LSU gets upset or something.
Well, who do they have their last 2 games?
No one.
I mean, they have Vanderbilt, one of them.
Yeah, I don't see them losing.
So-
I saw Biscuit Bam loses.
And they have
They're
A&M the last week.
Yeah.
A&M's been disappointed.
They've
So
been-
I don't.
they've been bad.
They get upset. They got upset by A&M last year. They were the number
Yeah.
5 team in the country, and they lost in the 7 overtime, 72-74
that's
game.
Wow.
It's a crazy game. But now they're hosting A&M at night in Death Valley.
Yep.
The only team in the last 6 years to come away with wins at night in LSU has been Alabama. So you can't.
They had
Yeah.
that. They couldn't make the LSU Alabama game a night game this year because it'd be too crazy.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
But okay, so Ian, we forgot to get to you. So what do you see in this game defensively?
What a game!
Okay.
I think this is going to be a shootout all the way.
Mhm.
Coaching battle between two great coaches, definitely history.
Mhm.
I do see Tua playing, but I don't
Okay.
see him playing at a high level that
Right.
they want to play. And Joe
Right.
Burrow definitely is a great quarterback.
Last year, what
too.
did we see from Tua in big games?
I mean,
Not much.
No.
I remember last year in the SEC Championship against Georgia, he
Yeah.
threw 2 interceptions, was 4 for 11.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
And they pulled him from
Oh,
Jalen
yeah.
Hurts.
Yeah.
They've had to do that twice versus
Yeah,
Georgia.
well, they don't have
so,
Jalen Hurts this year.
you know, so they're gonna have to rely on
Yes.
Mac Jones if
We'll see.
he doesn't.
very interesting.
Yeah, but what APR said, if they bring him back too early, he gets that ankle broken
That
or
could
even
be
just
bad.
rolled even
He's
worse.
done for the season.
Then
Exactly.
the Bengals draft
Out.
Justin Herbert.
And they won't take Tua first pick in the
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get to our questions. What was the most surprising game last week? Any of
NPR, go ahead.
you guys?
All right,
APR,
so-
Yeah.
Oh, you okay? Willie,
I have Cincinnati versus East Carolina, 46-43. Game-winning field goal for UC. They looked pretty bad, to be honest.
they
East
looked off.
Carolina's no one.
Okay, the pick 6 at the end was
All right.
That was
Yeah.
that was me.
that was
The
That was no
same guy.
I
Gardner,
think the
had pick 6.
Oregon game was surprising. They just came out and blew out USC.
Yeah, I was watching that.
I
game.
didn't really know how good Oregon was, but now I can see them as I don't know, possibly a playoff team
All right.
if they don't lose again.
My most surprising game was SMU Memphis. I
Okay.
definitely thought SMU was going to win this game,
Okay.
maybe even get a New Year's Six bowl. But
Okay.
I thought they were definitely going to come in there and maybe win by 2 touchdowns, and they just didn't play well.
No, they did. And my most surprising game was Virginia Tech Notre Dame because I think Notre Dame coming off a big loss to Michigan, 31 points. I expected them to be the more dominant team
Yeah.
at home, hosting Virginia Tech, who's
Mhm.
been up and
Well,
down this
Virginia
year.
Tech beat Ohio State that one year,
Oh yeah,
That was- and
we'll
Ohio
talk
State
about
came back and won the championship.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, Notre Dame came in looking like the great team, and they were favored by 10.5 in
Yeah.
that game, and only won by 1. That was because that was luck. I was lucky. Oh yeah, definitely. I thought it'd be double, probably 21
Yeah.
points, but it didn't happen. So, all right, what was the most surprising game last week? You got that one cleared up. Who should make the jump from unranked to the top 25? And we're gonna base this off the college football playoff rankings. We'll discuss those later. They came out this week on Tuesday. Will,
I got Indiana or
Indiana-
UCF. I
UCF,
said that last week, and
they're still not in.
Just don't know. They're like snag. They're like 27 and 29.
Okay.
I think Indy's 27, or no, UCF's 27, and then Indy's
Indy's
29.
29,
I
alright.
think they should both be in there. They
Okay.
both have huge wins this year. Yeah.
All right. APR.
All right, I have Washington. They've lost 4 games already. But they've lost to Utah, Oregon, and California. Those are 3
Those are
good teams. But they did lose to Stanford, which is.
Oh yeah,
But I don't. They're not a top 20 team, but I do think they're like.
a top 20.
Yeah.
All right.
I also did have Indiana.
All
I
right.
think them coming in 7-2, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They played
Bill
well.
Mayer.
Losses to Ohio State and who else? I forget.
Losses to Ohio State and Michigan State, so they're
Yeah.
both good losses.
Yeah,
really good.
quality losses. I think they should definitely be up there.
I mean, I really want to say Virginia Tech because I mean, even the loss last week, 5-1, 5-3 is still a good enough record to be able to get you ranked.
We'll see what they do this
Yeah,
week.
and if they can beat Wake Forest, then they
Yeah.
will definitely be ranked.
Yeah.
All right, who should drop from the rankings? Will, start with you. You got this all prepared.
Boise State.
Boise. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's mainly because last week they played they played San Jose State.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know who that is. They gave up 42 to them,
Oh my God. Okay, I didn't even see that game, but
and they're at home.
okay.
So that's all I got. I mean,
But
that's-
they won though, right?
They won by 7.
Okay.
It was like
Yeah, but still 40. I mean, we knew Boise State defense wasn't good, but I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, I think they should be out of there.
Oh, drop. Okay. APR.
I've got SMU. They just lost to Memphis. I don't think Memphis is that great of a team. and SMU will probably lose some more games here. Don't they? They still have to play UC, right?
They do not play UC.
No,
They still. I think they have to play Navy,
That could be a change.
which could be.
Game.
Yeah, it could
Oh
be.
yeah, I guess.
But yeah, they still have to play Navy, and Navy's defense is phenomenal. They're averaging 357 rushing yards a game because they throw the ball 2 times a game. But still, I mean, yeah, they still have to play Navy, so that's a good pick by APR. Ian?
This is definitely going to come to a surprise by you guys, but I got the Michigan Wolverines.
Okay. All right.
Good.
2 losses, definitely another or 2 more losses on their schedule.
Okay.
I don't think they're very good. They hype them up too much. They definitely
Revenge tour.
they are definitely not a good team, not an elite team like they used to be, and I don't think I see them.
I mean, I may see them lose to Indiana.
Yeah,
Same
same.
season. So, okay. Mine would have to be Wake Forest because their best win was North Carolina.
Yeah.
Mac Brown, North
Strength
Carolina,
of
is at
schedule.
5-4 right now.
So
I don't think
Uh,
7-1.
Yeah, but they still I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they have a really good offense with
They
Sage
do.
Surratt and Jamie
It's
Newman,
all
but
up.
where's the defense? Where's the defense for Wake Forest? I don't see it. That's why. Okay, I'm not taking them out. I'm taking them out of the rankings because I just don't think they've beaten good enough teams to be able to get into that spot. All right. But before we go to Super Dogs, we're gonna discuss the firing of Willie Taggart from Florida State. Just lay them out here, guys. What did you think?
I'll go first.
All right.
Florida State's been a joke all year.
Oh, they
I'll
have.
say it first.
First opening game lost to Boise State.
But
That's how you know.
In their home.
I don't know if they give him enough time. They didn't give him the pieces he needed to work with.
No, it's
Only
about
there for
time.
about
They gave him
It's about
1.5 years.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
It was time to fire him.
Yeah, I think it was.
You think?
Yes.
Okay.
Just not getting the job.
He
done.
hasn't. Yeah, the recruiting's been awful for me.
Yeah.
He's been outside the top 50 in recruiting every single year, and it's Florida State. Like, you got to be able to recruit.
They're an elite.
Exactly.
3 years ago, they were.
I mean,
very
with
nice.
Jimbo Fisher, they were one of the best teams in college football.
Yeah.
So honestly, think he didn't give the pieces to work with. Obviously, Alex Hornibrook transferring from Wisconsin, he's pretty good. I thought this was going to be like a different year for Florida State.
Yeah.
Clearly, I was wrong. They've been a joke. First loss to Boise State, they were up by 15 and they blew it.
Yeah.
So they have been awful this year, and I think it was about time for them to find a new coach. And who do you guys know who is their head coach right now? Their interim head coach at the end of the season?
I don't know.
Okay.
Do you know?
No, I have no idea. I was just asking you guys.
Okay.
All right, Super Dogs. I'm going to go first. I got Colorado. They're taking on Stanford. I mean, I love Laviska Shenault. He's the best receiver in college football. One of
Their quarterback's horrible.
Stevie Montez. Yeah, he's been struggling,
He's
but
been bad.
I think
Yeah.
he's been good at times this season, and that's why I think he can. He'll throw for 300+ yards, touchdowns, and I just don't see Stanford coming out with this one.
All right, I'll go next. I got East Carolina coming off that game against UC, probably riding pretty high.
Yeah.
Against SMU, ranked 23rd. I said SMU should be out of the rankings, and I think when they lose to East Carolina,
That's when they drop. Yep. Ian?
I got Duke over Notre Dame.
Okay.
That's a big upset.
Okay.
I
This
know.
isn't basketball.
Yes, that's very true. But Notre Dame. I have not seen anything. I don't know why they're in top 15. I mean,
Oh wow.
they're a good team, but Duke's obviously not a good team either. But I think it'll be a close game. Maybe Duke wins the shootout at home.
Okay. I respect it. All right. And they have a really good quarterback in Quentin Harrison.
Yes.
If you guys have never heard about you know who Jalen Jackson Jr. is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's at safety for Duke, and he plays kick return, he plays running back, he plays receiver, he plays corner, he does everything. He's one of the most athletic players in college football.
Kentucky has a guy like that too. He's like quarterback, running back, and
Yeah, Lynn Bowden Jr.
Lynn Bowden
Yeah,
Jr.
he's ridiculous. All right. Okay, so everyone's gone through the Super Dog. Let's get to the selections. Here's the picks. Penn State taking on Minnesota. Will, we're just on the line.
I got Penn State. They're just a better team overall. I know Minnesota's 8-0, but I just feel like Penn State's an overall better team.
Yeah, I also got Penn State. I think Minnesota will stick with them maybe the first quarter, but KJ Hamler's a destructive weapon. We saw that against Michigan. We're going to see it again against Minnesota.
I say Penn State, like Chase said, Handler probably draws 2 defenders, opens up the field for other receivers, and Penn State wins big.
All right, Ian?
I do have Penn State, and I can't Minnesota. Penn State has exposure to big games. The ones the whiteout at home against Ohio State, Michigan. Mm-hmm. What does Minnesota have against exposures against?
I mean, I'm just saying their first game was a 7-point win over South Dakota State. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah. So I got Penn State, kind of big, but I think they'll stick with them a little bit.
Yeah, I think 17. 17-20 points. Kansas State, Texas.
I got Texas.
All right.
Getting a bounce back win versus Kansas State. They're home. It's very hard to play there, and I think Sam Ehlinger has a huge game.
All right. I'm going with K-State. Texas favored by 7, but Skylar Thompson is one of the best and most underrated quarterbacks in football. I'm going to take Skylar Thompson in the Wildcats.
I was going to say I want to take Kansas State. I'm going to say Texas.
All right.
I don't think Skylar Thompson continues his streak of rushing touchdowns, and Texas bounces back and wins by 14.
14. Ian?
I got Texas too. I think Sam Ehlinger steps up as a leader and gets his team back in the right direction.
All right. Virginia Tech, Wake Forest. Well,
I don't have that, but I have Wake Forest.
okay.
And this is hard. This is hard.
This is probably the hardest game we have on here.
Virginia Tech's
Yeah.
home. Is Virginia Tech home?
No.
They're
Yes,
not?
they are home.
They are.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with Virginia Tech.
All right.
I mean, if you only lose by 1 point to Notre Dame, you can beat Wake Forest.
Okay.
I mean, this defense isn't that good, so
All right.
Virginia Tech wins.
Wake Forest. You're right. They don't have a defense, but they have an offense, and that's why they win this game today. I think probably they'll outscore Virginia Tech probably in the second quarters when they get going 17 or 20 points in the second quarter. That's where they pull away.
I've got Wake Forest too. Stacey surrounds too much. Jamie Newman, obviously elusive and can throw the ball. I don't think Virginia Tech can do anything about that. So I got Wake Forest.
I got Virginia Tech. Impressive game by them at Notre Dame.
Sure.
And I just think Wake Forest isn't that great of a team.
All right. Okay. Iowa, Wisconsin.
I go Wisconsin.
All right.
Home. They're gonna get a great win. So I will.
All right. This is a tough one for me.
Great
It's
one,
Big
but-
Ten West. Minnesota loses, and then I think Wisconsin will pull it out because I think Iowa's defensive line, yes, is good, but Jonathan Taylor and the Wisconsin offensive line is better. So
Yeah. I've got Wisconsin. This is kind of an easy choice for me. I can say only Ohio State's defensive line in the Big Ten can stop Taylor, and I think he runs for at least 200 yards in this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Multiple
I got
touchdowns.
Wisconsin too.
All right.
The Badgers get a nice win after a couple losses.
All right. In a game of the week. This is a big one. LSU, Bama. Let's hope it's not like every year where we think LSU's coming in great and then Bama kicks their butt. So we'll see what happens.
Well, if Tua's healthy, Alabama wins first off.
Okay.
If he's not healthy, I think LSU can win.
Okay. But what's your final pick here?
Final pick. It's Alabama.
Okay.
They're the most clutch team in college football.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
They won't lose, I don't think, to LSU. LSU's phenomenal, but it's Alabama.
I mean, this is
That's all.
we're picking too early because this is all based on what Tua's coming in
But
the
if
game.
Tua doesn't play,
If it's healthy or if it's
Yeah.
day to day out. I want to go with LSU, but as much as I want to, I'm not. Bama returns, I think, 4 players back from injury, and they're all starters on defense. So this is going to be huge
that's
for
big.
Bama. I think they
Yeah, and
pull out.
also that LSU player left the team who started on defense.
Yeah, I saw
Right.
that.
Right. Yeah.
Michael
Yeah,
Pimentel
he
Jr.
left.
Michael Pimentel Jr. Yeah. So I could open up some holes for Mac Jones. It could be Mac Jones, but he can just dump it off to Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Najee Harris. They can do the rest. So I think Alabama wins.
All right. I say that if Tua's hurt, LSU wins, and if Tua plays, LSU still wins.
Oh wow!
I think they have a much better defense,
Okay.
and I think that the offenses are pretty even. But I think that LSU gets a couple clutch picks, and they're able to capitalize on offense from that. And I think they win by 10.
Okay. They do lead the SEC in turnover margin. So
Yeah.
I got the Tide.
all
I
right.
think they'll definitely win this game. Nick Saban, how can you go against him? He'll have his players ready.
Yeah, you can.
Joe Burrow is definitely a great quarterback, but I just don't see the Tide losing this game.
All right. Okay. Well, before we go, guys, end quote. Who will be the best upset this week? Will.
I'm gonna go with Virginia Tech over Wake Forest.
Okay.
Wake Forest isn't that good. I think Virginia Tech is good.
Doesn't have to be off the board. So
All
I'm
right.
going with Kansas State over Texas. Though I'm going off the board. I think this is going to be a real shootout, but I think Skylar Thompson prevails.
I've got Maryland. I'm just kidding.
No way.
No way. Chill.
East Carolina again.
Okay.
They're definitely going to beat SMU.
All right.
Like I said earlier, Duke's going to beat Notre Dame.
All right, there it is. We saw it coming.
Yep.
All right. Will, should being on you guys.
Pleasure again to be on.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Be sure to like, sub, ring the bell for more great vids. Peace.